Hi, everybody. Welcome in as we get set for baseball on this Wednesday afternoon. I believe that is right. No, it's a Tuesday. East Georgia State taking on Georgia Highlands. Robert Williamson along with head coach of South Georgia State, Jeff Timothy. Coach, good to have you joining us.
Always glad to be in the booth with you.
That is on the infield on the ground now by Vasquez. East Georgia State coming in as a 4 seed. Georgia Highlands the 1. And there is one away. And quickly, let me run through the lineup. You've got Shane Wheelis as the 2-hitter. Trip Helgeson batting 3rd. Terrell Milliner is in the 4th spot. Noah Hollis batting 5th. Connor Soper 6th. Brady Morantz is the 7-hitter. Ethan James 8th. And the 9 guy, Rico Coney. Ground to third. Only thing that Godby could do was maybe barehanded and go over to first with a throw. Instead, not able to make the throw. And Wheelis on with the infield single. Coach, you've had a chance to look at both of these teams and play both of these teams over the course of the regular season. What do we look for today?
Both teams very offensive. A
lot of runs?
A lot of runs. It's to me, pitching-wise, is keep the ball in the ballpark, make routine plays. Heck of a base hit bunt there by Wheelis just a minute ago.
And you got a base runner aboard with one away here in the top part of the first. As that pitch is a little bit outside. Well, you've had an opportunity, too, to play on this turf, so what about the turf? I mean, you're a Georgia Highlands squad that is used to playing on an artificial turf. East Georgia State on natural. Does that give East Georgia State any type of advantage?
I would say so. Just the fact that they've probably played 95% of their games on grass versus 95% on turf for the other team, so definitely.
Trip Helgeson with a swing and miss. Taking a look at that Georgia Highlands defense, Max Eichenberger is on the hill. Behind the plate, Tyler Phillips. First baseman Wyatt Gatlin. At short, Caden Marcos. And at third, Grayson Godby. An outfield of Kinski Thomas. In left field, the center fielder is Heath Whitlock. And in right field, Ryan Martin.
Yeah, I'm interested to see the catcher here. East Georgia steals 40. They've stolen 140-plus bags, I think, this year. And the catcher is a Gold Glove catcher for Georgia Highlands. So see if maybe they try to test him, or both of them have strengths in those areas.
Terrell Milliner coming to the plate after the strikeout of Helgeson. Lead by Wheelis over at first on the outside part of the plate. How long does it take a player to get adjusted to a new umpire? Because it's a different one every day, and they've got a little different strike zone. Is it a single at-bat or what? Or have you seen them throughout the course of the year and you got a pretty good idea?
Yeah, pretty good idea. You've probably had each guy behind the plate at least 4 to 5 times. So we have to do a scouting report on them too as well, just to let our guys understand what's going on.
Popped up to the first base side, foul territory. It'll get out of play. Chase given by Gatlin. By the way, Coach, I need to tell you, like I told Dave yesterday, it is kind of a tight quarters up here in the press box. And when I'm leaning to see a play over in right, I'm not trying to get closer. Just felt the need to tell Dave.
Here we go.
And caught in a rundown is Wheelis. And you can just almost read the body language to go, oh, crap, what have I done?
Yep.
Well, he's caught in the rundown, and despite the single, it turns into a 3-up, 3-down, top of the first. We go to the bottom of the inning. Top of the second gets underway. Terrell make that bottom of the first gets underway. I think I did that yesterday. Hopped ahead during the additional inning. I'm trying to speed these games up. It is Georgia Highland bringing the top of their order to the plate in the bottom of the first. Heath Whitlock begins it. Kinsky Thomas is the two-hitter. Ryan Martin hitting third. Andrew Bishop fourth. Grayson Godby fifth. Ian Fullerton in the sixth spot. Tyler Phillips hitting seventh. Wyatt Gatlin eighth. Caden Marcos in the nine hole. Cole Schumann is on the hill for East Georgia State. Behind the plate, Ethan James. First baseman, Trip Helgeson. And short, Noah Hollis. Second baseman, Brady Moretz. Third baseman, Connor Soper. An outfield of Shane Wheelis in left. Center fielder, Rico Coney. And the right fielder is Terrell Milliner. Whitlock starting it off. This park, Coach, bigger, same as Georgia Highlands, because last year we were playing in Georgia Highlands in the conference tournament. There were a ton of home runs hit. Yesterday, I think 2, if I'm remembering correctly. Similar size parks?
This is a little bigger ballpark. Wind can really make this park a tick small, but so far it's played pretty true.
Georgia Highlands a year ago went to the World Series in Grand Junction, Colorado, got by region, whatever the Tennessee region is. And, do they have does the GCAA representative have a good chance this year as well?
I think so. I think every state has great college baseball teams. And in a 3-game series, honestly, you need 2 pitchers to do really well and get a couple clutch ABs, and the rest is history. So,
and 2, you're playing with the 2025 youngins. It's a different the athlete today is different than the athlete from 25, 30 years ago.
Oh, yeah. But I'll say this. I think the advancement, for instance, I obviously played high school baseball, played college baseball, and I played at Harrison High School, very, very good baseball savvy school, and not a lot of freshmen started as freshmen, and now you're seeing down the road where these 9th graders are playing on varsity and contributing. I have a prime example of that. My son is a 9th grader at Coffee High School, and got 33 starts, played all 3 infield positions, even caught 1 game as a start. So the advancement of these kids at an earlier age allows them to have that opportunity.
And I guess that advancement includes knowing the right diet, the right workout regimen for a baseball player versus a football guy. So there's a lot of knowledge that's gone in over the years.
Yeah, and sports are getting specialized. I'm not a fan of that, truthfully, but I do see the advantages of focusing on one sport. But I love playing multiple sports. It teaches so many other disciplines that you need that you could use for baseball.
Kinsky Thomas to the plate. Ryan Martin to the on-deck circle. That goes to the screen, and Whitlock will take off for second. So a base runner in scoring position, an RBI chance for Thomas. Well, where South Georgia State was concerned, not the year that you were hoping for, but another great year in the books for South Georgia State.
Yeah, a lot of folks don't understand kind of the turmoil that happened. We had a hurricane that went through the town of Douglas, absolutely almost not completely destroyed, but really did significant damage on campus that affected us. We actually missed a whole month of development in the fall. Opening day started, we got snowed out.
Wow.
We had Cleveland State going to come down for a 3-game set, and we got snowed out. We had 6 inches on our field. We haven't had snow in Douglas in almost 20 years. So that's just 2 things Mother Nature did, not to mention guys getting injured, this and that, and I'm not blaming nothing. I think it is what it is, and there's some things we did good this year and some things we didn't do good, and we're I'm looking forward to fall of 25, spring of 26.
Well, I know it doesn't make you feel any better, but probably you were the only baseball team, maybe in the history of the country, to be hit by a hurricane and a snowstorm
in the same year.
Yeah. Well, what's this conversation about? I mean, he's giving up back-to-back walks, Schumann. So, if you're a coach, are you out there, with a lengthy, here's how you do mechanics?
The first at-bat just went real deep in the count, and the guy got on, and that at-bat was, I want to say, non-competitive, meaning he threw a lot of balls that kids weren't even going to think about swinging. So he's really like, get back in the zone, get a ground ball, get a double play here. It looks really good. Might not give up a run.
So how extensive are these conversations when you go out onto the bump? I mean, are they direct, or are you talking mechanics? Safely in at third, Whitlock looked like the throw might get there just ahead of his arrival, but Whitlock in safely with the steal.
It's a good jump. Read it early. If he read it after it hit the dirt, he'd have been out. He read it before, got a step, and that's the difference. On the mound, like here, this is Martin hitting, I believe. This is a first-team all-conference guy that's got 20-plus home runs, I think. So he's probably like, we need to figure out how to disrupt his timing and hit the ball on the ground, because he hits it in the air. Chances are he might lose it.
Andrew Bishop to the on-deck circle. Was it frustrating last night? Every time your guys scored in the top part of the inning, East Georgia came back, scored in the bottom part.
Oh, that's, we talk all the time about shutdown innings, which has put a 0 up with our pitching staff, and it just didn't happen. Part of it.
That is a high fly ball to left center field. Will it clear the wall? It will. And there you go. Talking about Ryan Martin and his hitting prowess, and there's one out of the park. Very near, by the way, a black van, which is holding up a camera that gives you that pitcher to hitter look. But I still see my camera shot. So, hey, I may have a cracked windshield, but they got a home run, and we got our camera still in place. Well, I got an experience with Georgia Highlands. I was actually at Andrew College when Georgia Highlands was there, and pulled my van out to center field just long enough to set up a camera. Then I was going to move it, and it got shattered by their BP. So they kind of like my van, so I don't know what's out there right now. I may have to call Safelite. By the way, nobody gone, giving up that home run to Martin. Andrew Bishop rolling in the direction of third. That could be problematic. Scooped up by Soper.
Until hit.
And Bishop is on.
Exit velo on that, probably 35 miles an hour, but absolutely placed in a perfect spot.
Dave Elder has walked into the booth. He didn't realize that we had appointed you as the...
Oh, he called me and I told him to get on.
Oh, really? Okay. I figure since Dave was a little late getting here.
No, I was here.
I was talking about into the box.
Pressing the flash.
Yep. Grayson Godby to the plate. Ian Fullerton to the on-deck circle.
Well, you definitely got more color commentary from me than the commish over there.
Yeah, but we got some great stories on you from the commish.
We don't need to go into them today. This is all about the conference.
Are you sure?
I'm selfless today.
You do not want to talk about zero-turn mowers?
No, we're good. We're good. We can talk about that if I had won. We could. We're gonna make it off limits today.
All right.
Let's see here. So far, I already called that one, unfortunately, with the home run.
You did.
This guy's a little bit of a front foot hitter. Yeah, and you got him out front, and look what happens.
Pop up to the third base side. Soper backs off per the request of Noah Hollis. And Cosby is out number 1. One out with a base runner at first. Ian Fullerton coming to the plate. Tyler Phillips to the on-deck circle. Well, Coach, can you go 3 for 3? What do we expect from Fullerton?
I expect first pitch probably a changeup. Let's see if I'm right. No, breaking ball. Something slow. Slow versus fast. Good little hitter here. Probably pull side guy more than a backside guy. I'll say that, and he'll hit opposite field double. I'm thinking of my spray charts with these guys.
Now, are you a very analytics guy? I mean, you look at the law of averages where a hitter is concerned or a pitcher, and based on those averages, there's a 73% chance or an 82 or whatever that you're going to get what the analytics suggest?
I think you have to. I think you have to use parts of everything. I'm not gonna, I also done it a long time, so I've, your gut feeling from experience. But we're definitely gonna use anything we can to position our guys in a good spot. It was just like the hit a minute ago. We would have shifted exactly where he did. It just a cue ball shot. Just unfortunate. I hate it for the pitcher because the pitcher made a really good pitch.
Ian Fullerton, 2-1 count. Runner in first is Bishop. Tyler Phillips to the on-deck circle. A little inside if you're a coach and you've already paid your pitcher a visit in the inning. Are you ever questioning if you should have waited to pay him a visit later on in the inning? I mean, in this particular case, he gave up the 2 walks and the home run.
You
hindsight's 20/20.
Hindsight's 20/20. I mean, you got to get it. Got a guy's his first start out here in postseason, and maybe kind of get that adrenaline to calm down and focus, and But the biggest issue I'm watching with him is every count's running 3 balls in something. So you got to try to get guys before you get to 3 balls, and you got a chance.
Here it is 3-2. That is lifted in the direction of center.
He made a good pitch right there. Got the guy tick out front. That's a 3-2 off-speed pitch versus a 3-2 fastball. A guy sitting in the box thinking heat, and he doesn't get it. And you get him to swing. That was a very good job by Schumann.
Rico Coney with a catch in center field. Tyler Phillips to the plate.
And I know he's kind of had a rough first inning, but if he can get out of this with just that one mistake, there is 8 more innings to score 3 runs. You can do that. Trust me, I saw it yesterday.
This is true. I will say kudos, though. I mean, you came back, just that homer given up late. That one is lifted in the direction of left center field. Looks like it's staying in the park. Over to make the catch from left is Shane Wheelis, and Phillips will fly out, leaving Bishop on. Top of the second gets underway. Terrell Milliner, Noah Hollis, Connor Soper due up in the inning 2. 3-zip ball game as that is sent foul. All right, let's bring it to the other side. Milner at the plate. What do we look for? What do you expect?
I mean, how we pitched him a lot was, if you pay attention to his hands tend to drop. So we're trying to where his hand height is, we're trying to get just a tick above it because he likes to go down. So I'd say hard and up. He can hammer a low pitch. He's really good at that. It hurt us quite a few times this year. But you got to keep him off balance.
Milliner, the cleanup guy. Noah Hollis will follow. That is ground foul in the direction of third. Well, there's all kinds of talk about the portal and its impact. I think most of us think about the NCAA and football. What about the portal and its impact on junior college baseball? Is it negligible, substantial?
Oh, I'd say substantial. We this past year we at the fall break we picked up 2 out of the portal, and they both were very impact guys for us. I think it's good. I think you got to do your homework on them. You got to figure out. No offense, they transfer for a reason. You need to find out what them reasons are. For some guys, it's they went up to a level they're not ready for. They may be ready for it in 2 years of JUCO or 1. For other guys, it could be a maturity thing. It could be a lot of different reasons, but you got to find out those reasons.
I know the situation where that is popped up, by the way, by Hollis on the infield and coming in from first to make the catch, Gatlin. But that incident concerning, or that issue concerning eligibility at the junior college level affecting the Vandy QB, it was specific to that situation. But if it does become a matter where the NCAA doesn't recognize those years of junior college and doesn't count against the 4 years, does that help or hurt?
Oh, that's huge. That would really that'd be a game changer for junior college.
Plus or minus?
Plus. The gameplay would be. I mean, the gameplay is good now. There's some really good players in junior college. It would go up dramatically. You got a guy that, I'll give you an example. Maybe a guy that's a fringy draft pick. If he develops, you go to junior college, you're eligible for the draft your first year, first or second, versus waiting 3 years at a 4-year school.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's huge. Plus, let's say you're not a draft guy and you play 2 years here, you could still have maybe 3 or 4 years at that 4-year school. So I look at it from a standpoint of the student athlete. I got a chance to get my degree and maybe my master's and still play ball throughout that entirety. I think that's great for these kids, you know. And if you get the opportunity to do the pro ball thing or something, hey, that's just a bonus. Good swing.
Dropped into left field, base hit, 2 out, shot by Soper. And a runner on from Brady Moretz here in the top part of inning number 2. How's that affecting the high school, though, potentially? Is this portal having an impact on high school kids? Is it giving fewer an opportunity?
Yeah, I think it does give fewer. But this is the safe thing to say. The kids that get after it and work all the time are going to have a spot. It's going to get figured out. I think if you're I don't want to use the term a country club sport, but if you do it 1 or 2 days a week, and then this game is so impactful by doing stuff all the time, every day. You just have to learn how to play and get after it. And I've noticed, like, our players will do a lot of. They'll use the social media to, we video games just like we're doing right here, watching this, and they'll take their clip from their great at bat and put it on there and market themselves. And I mean, that's something we've told them, like, you need to do that. And you know, I've explained that to certain high school kids. Hey, you know, go ahead and get your name out, because you know as well as I do. A lot of times, getting a job is more about who you know than what you know.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I think a perfect example of that is in Alabama, in the junior college. There was this kid named, or is this gentleman named Jay Boroff, who was a travel ball guy whose mom blitzed social media about Jay Boroff. Well, he eventually winds up, he's playing in a small Alabama high school, maybe even an AISA, not one of the bigger schools, as you got a walk of Moretz and a couple of base runners on. Goes to Enterprise State. Now, granted, he backs it up with a terrific career at Enterprise State, but next year he's going to Troy. So I do think that social media played a role in getting him some attention initially. Now he's backed it up with his play.
Good.
Ethan James with a couple of runners on. And you talk about changing the complexion of the game very early if East Georgia can get a run or two here.
Oh, no doubt. Even if just one, just get a little momentum back on their side.
On the outside part of the plate, Ethan James.
And based on how he's throwing to him, it better be, you're going to have to try to hit this ball to right center.
Well, there is a bit of a gap to right center. Not a whole lot bigger than the one to left, but it is a little bit.
He's just pounding away. Makes a mistake up, though. He can pull it if he makes it up.
Two-1 offering to Ethan James. And he'll drive it into left field. Soper given the green line to go on home. He will score. And East Georgia has responded to the three in the bottom of the first with a run in the top of the second with two gone.
Two-out RBIs win games.
And everything that happened, at least thus far, has happened with two outs for East Georgia. Two walks and the base hit. Rico Coney to the on-deck circle. That'll get into the dirt, go to the screen, runners move up.
Get a single here, it's going to be tied up.
9-hitter Rico Coney. Top of the order, Jaden Vasquez moving to the on-deck circle.
Okay, what do you think Dash is telling him? You just bounced it 40 feet.
You tell me what. Man, I'm just a play-by-play guy.
Oh, you know baseball.
I know so little about baseball. I've only called him for about 40 years.
He's probably going back to now a scouting report on the guy. This guy chases this. This is his hole. Let's execute it. We did okay against this guy last night. We kind of stayed down and away, and he likes to pull it. You make a mistake, he's going to make you pay.
Rico Coney, a 286 hitter. I
Yeah.
think he's the guy that. Yeah, you got fanned 3 times. Struck out in the 2nd, 4th, and 6th innings against your Hawks before the walk with the bases loaded in the 7th. Moves from the 6th spot down to the 9th spot. So now did those 3 strikeouts contribute to his move southward from 6 to 9 in the order?
I would say so.
So say you contributed to this game.
Okay. We needed some other guys to have some punch outs too.
2-1 offering. It is too far outside.
And I will say this: we need to pay attention to the runner at third because they tried to squeeze last night or do a steal of home 2 separate times.
I thought they had almost gotten away with one.
Yeah.
3-1 offering. Into the zone and the count goes full.
Got a base open. You don't have to give them a fastball here. I'm going to go ahead and put some money on it. Off speed. I was right.
And you got a walk given to Coney with bases now full of Bobcats. Well, here's the million-dollar question. You get 2 relatively quick. Milliner and Hollis, and then 4 in a row get on. How does that happen?
Focus. 18, 19 years old, man. If you can give me the answer to that, I'd be a really good coach.
Jaden Vasquez to the plate. Shane Wheelis to the on-deck circle. Gatlin, Marcos, and Whitlock when you get to the bottom of the second for Georgia Highlands. That is popped
There
up.
we go.
Should end the inning. Coming in from left and making the catch is Kinski Thomas. So Vasquez with a fly out, leaving 3 on, but a run's in. Bobcats on the board as we go to the home half of the second.
Of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Choose from over 100 affordable degree and certificate programs that fit your budget and schedule. Earn the same degree as you would on campus, with the same affordable tuition rate for every state. UA Online. Advance your career and change your life. Get started today at online.ua.edu.
We head to the bottom of the order, bottom of the second. Wyatt Gatlin will start it off. Caden Marcos and the top of the order, Heath Whitlock. 1-run plates. Could have gotten more if you were the Bobcats. And I guess if you're Georgia Highlands, you're thinking you could have allowed less. But it is a 3-1 game as we get the second underway. A little unusual stance. And I guess what is unusual stance-wise? I mean, if it works for you, it works. But this is a little different for Gatlin. Do you try to coach guys out of specific stances?
You know what? I've done it both ways. I tell you, to me, the most effective way is you've recruited them. You think they're going to hit. You let them in the fall work, see if it works. And then if they start failing, then you start giving them, some reinforcement. I think that works better than trying to kind of cookie cut them from the beginning. Now, you can warn them. I mean, I have no problem warning a guy, hey, I know your hands are here, but you're going to have issues here, here, and here. But, hey, right now, just keep it as is, and we'll see if it works. So
typically, I'm assuming that it works when he does it like you would expect him to do? Or do they occasionally surprise you and it works the way they do it?
They'll surprise you. There's not one way to hit, but there's definitely some specifics. Let's see. Oh, good effort.
Almost for Ethan James.
We, teaching hitting, we want our guys to understand the plate's 17 inches. You got to be able to cover all 17 inches, and some days you got to cover 18 to 19, depending on who's calling what.
Mm-hmm.
So
swing and a miss by Marcos. Heath Whitlock to the on-deck circle. Is it tough, though? Well, I guess if they're playing at the collegiate level, they've done things right at the high school level. But I'm thinking of in one particular instance where a pitcher I have seen at the high school level, pretty good pitcher, as that is up the middle for Marcos, but has a little kind of hiccup in his delivery, maybe a little stutter step that some umpires will allow, some won't. I mean, do you find that you run into those kind of issues where little hiccups in maybe their motion or their delivery, or that's been allowed to go on?
Well, they've pretty much cleaned up the, what you can and can't do. And we got this pitch clock on top of all that where we got to, to me, that's the pitch clock's been, kind of the interesting thing. I mean, I don't know if it really speeds up our game per se. You really have to do a good job as a coach to get the signs relayed. I mean, we use basically a watch system. So, one of the reasons is if you got a runner at second base, he can't see the catcher put signs down. I like that. And the other thing is, I think it's pretty hard to screw it up.
And you really like that?
I really like that. Although, we have screwed it up before, and I'm mesmerized by that.
Heath Whitlock followed by Kinski Thomas. Do you foresee JUCO having an actual clock? Right now it's the umpire basically keeping you aware of the time.
Yeah, it'll get mandated. We'll have to have them on the field, and I would say sooner than later.
I'm actually surprised they don't have them now.
Well, I think half of it is money. It's what people don't understand about those pitch clocks is you can't have one, you have to have two. You have to have one basically behind the home plate that the field umpire can see in the field, and then you have to have one in the outfield for the umpire behind the plate to be able to see, along with players, hitters, pitchers being able to see it. And you don't have to buy one, you got to buy two. And I hate to say it, you can't get those at Walmart for $100. We'll just say that.
Well, who operates them too? I mean, will there be an operator specifically for the clock? Or?
And that might be there you go. There's some more money. I don't know many people do stuff for free anymore.
No. 2-2 pitch. I tell Dave I almost do, but he doesn't agree. Count runs full at 3-2 on Whitlock. All right, what about umpireless games?
No. I can't stand it. No. I went to I think it was last summer, maybe the summer before, I went to a Stripers game, Braves Stripers game. And I'm sitting there watching, and I'm watching the catcher, and I mean, he's sticking pitches. I'm like, and it's getting ball, and I'm like, what is going on? And I look back at my phone, and yes, there is an umpire out there, but it is an automated system in the minor leagues. That game took 4.5 hours.
Really?
So, I mean, come on.
And it's supposed to speed up the game.
Yeah, exactly. And I was not impressed by that. And I'm not saying, I mean, I understand the strike zone. I understand. But I don't know. I like the replays. I like for them where they get the call right. But, I mean, at the end of the day, we're playing a game. Let's have people do it.
But aren't we running short of people?
I don't want to umpire. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
know,
agree.
I hear what these guys hear.
Yeah.
You know, my opinion has changed a lot with umpires because it is a harder job than you think it is. I can remember my first year at South Georgia. We're in a fall game, and I'm complaining to umpires left and right. And the head coach, Scott Sims, who's in the JUCO Hall of Fame, I'll never forget, he said, well, since it's so easy, we're going to do our little World Series in the fall, and you're going to umpire behind the plate. And let me tell you, I couldn't call a breaking ball for a strike if it was laid on a platter. My zone was so bad, and the best part about that whole story is we let the players, coach them and everything. And Coach Sims sat in the stands like a fan, and I'd ball something up. He would give me, the whole 9 on that. So kind of from that point on, I had a little better understanding of, how tough their jobs can be.
He wanted to give you the whole picture.
Mm-hmm. And I'm forever grateful for that learning experience.
Well, I feel for umpires. I think there are so few that intentionally make a mistake. The majority of them are doing the best they can. As that shot over into right field by Thomas. Coming around third, Marcos. He will score to third, Whitlock. And the lead is back out in front by 3 to Georgia Highlands.
Dangerous hitter now.
The dangerous hitter that's already smacked a home run, Ryan Martin. Got a couple of base runners on the corners. And that Martin home run pushed his RBI total to 81. I'll make that to 84. 81 coming in, 84 now.
He is committed to Dallas Baptist. Martin. Good school.
As a matter of fact, I know a golfer. She's on the golf team there. As a matter of fact, I think she was freshman of the year at Dallas Baptist. Andrew Bishop coming to the plate. After the Ryan Martin at bat that turns into a 6-3 putout.
That was a big out. That was a big out runner at third. Infield at corners in. It's ground ball to short or second. He scores. It's right at third. So that was a great job by Schumann in inducing that ground ball in the corner.
Andrew Bishop coming to the plate. Bishop with a single in the first, 1 for 1 in the ball game. Into right field, and Georgia Highlands will grab their biggest lead of the game. 1 run in, 2 runs in on the Andrew Bishop single.
Good job by Bishop picking up his teammate to out Ribby. Good.
Now 2 for 2 in the game.
And probably the biggest second baseman in junior college. Bishop.
He may be the biggest second baseman in college. That's a big boy.
That's a big boy. I think they had a rash of injuries, and I think Dash was telling me that he, just kind of said, hey, I can play infield, and he's done a really good job over there.
Shot towards left field, but it is right to left fielder Shane Wheelis. And Godby with a fly out. Bishop left on, 3 runs in. Georgia Highlands by 5 as we go to the third.
of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Choose from over 100 affordable degree and certificate programs that fit your budget and schedule. Earn the same degree as you would on campus, with the same affordable tuition rate for every state. UA Online. Advance your career and change your life. Get started today at online.ua.edu.
Right up against the wall. Ryan Martin says, hey, I can not only hit the ball, I can catch it too. What a catch by Ryan Martin.
That was catching a crash and held on to it. That was a great play.
And no padding out there on that right field wall, and he just hopped right up.
I'd rather hit a chain link than a wooden fence.
Any day of the
In
week.
South Georgia, that would have hurt.
Shane Wheelis with a fly out number one. Trip Helgeson coming to the plate. You know, we were talking about mandates like pitch clocks and eventually the digital one coming. That is shot towards left field, and that'll go to the wall, but the catch will be made by, in this particular case, Kinski Thomas.
I think he just top spun it a tick. If he hadn't top spun it, that thing's hitting a car out there. He's their scariest hitter in their lineup. That's the guy we really tried to avoid last night. That's why we gave him the intentional walk earlier in the game, first game. Good player, second team all-conference guy, too.
Had a couple of hits last night.
Yep.
Single and double and scored a run. Strike delivered to Milner. But I'm surprised that if there's going to be a requirement to have digital clocks, pitch clocks, you would think, or would you think, I would, I'm not a baseball coach, but that maybe that outfield padding on the wall would be a mandate too.
There is a mandate with padding, but it's only at the softball level, I've noticed. Chain length, I don't think you have to have any type of padding. Wooden fence, you would. But no, they haven't in baseball. Whew, that'd be a lot. I'll go ahead and tell you. 'Cause we got a big old wooden fence.
So you would not just buy one of those upholstery machines and put
Do it
together the
myself.
cushions yourself? Ground to third, backhanded by Godby, goes to first.
I don't
and
know.
it's
My president might mandate me to do that instead of spend the money, so we'll see.
3 up, 3 down in the top of the third. We go to the bottom of the inning. It's Fullerton, Phillips, and Gatlin coming up. Just about all White Jones County. Diving catches shortstop. Gross. gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it. Little floater in the direction of left field. That will drop in as a base hit for Ian Fullerton. And the Chargers with a base runner in the bottom of the third. Tyler Phillips, Wyatt Gatlin coming to the plate. It has been a long time. You mentioned South Georgia State. It's been a long time since I've been to that park, but that is a big JUCO park.
Yeah, it's an old. It used to be an old D-class minor league stadium. We got 330 down the lines, 400 to center. Really, to hit it out of center, you probably got to hit it about 415 to 420 because of the big batter's eye. But yeah, it's a big field, 375 gaps.
Tyler Phillips followed by Wyatt Gatlin. Got a base runner on here in the bottom of the third in a 6-1 game. Well, there are mercy rules that one might concern themselves with if they're on the East Georgia State side of the diamond.
Yeah, it's 10 after 5 and 8 after 7, I believe.
Currently it is 5 in the bottom of the third. Tyler Phillips to the on-deck circle. I make that to the batter's box. Wyatt Gatlin on deck. Top of the fourth, it'll be Hollis, Soper, and Moretz. And we'll come back towards the screen but get out of play. Well, I would assume that you liked coming to ABAC versus Georgia Highlands based on the drive. Much shorter drive.
Well, I could sleep in my bed. I like that.
Yeah. How far is it from here to Douglas?
42 miles.
And from here to Georgia Highlands?
260? No, maybe not that far. Maybe closer to 220, 230.
Oh, that's only about a 3.5 hour drive.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss by Tyler Phillips. Phillips with a fly out to left. He was the last out in the first inning. Now, you're a superstitious guy baseball-wise. Does that carry into non-baseball, just day-to-day stuff? I know the routine, man. When
I don't step on lines on a sidewalk.
You don't? Okay.
I'm weird.
That's not necessarily weird.
Yeah.
But is it a superstition that does that or just a habit?
Habit. Probably more of a habit.
Yeah.
I have no idea why I do that. Like I do, I look down and
make sure you miss it.
I do.
2-2 offering to Phillips. And a shot over towards right field, base hit. Back-to-back singles and a couple of Chargers on for Wyatt Gatlin.
Somebody's warming up. Oh, bringing him in.
Coming out of the game, Cole Schumann. The new pitcher will be on the bump when we return in 60.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
The new pitcher is Fisher Smith, the freshman right-hander with a .992 ERA. 3-4 on the year, his 16th appearance. Through 39 innings during the regular season. Facing Wyatt Gatlin, Caden Marcos will follow. Inside with the pitch, and apparently got Gatlin. He'll go to first. And the base is full of Chargers.
That hurts. 0-2 hit by pitch.
Well, what do you know about Fisher Smith? Have you seen him during the course of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I know he hit a guy right there, but strike thrower. I mean, he was 0-2. He obviously stays in the zone, and just unfortunate. Ball got a little bit away from him. He's thrown some strikes.
.42 strikeouts on the year, 31 walks. 4 home runs. What do you as a coach want ratio of walks to strikeouts?
3-to-1 at least. 3-to-1.
So you don't like that 31 and 42?
No.
Swing and a miss by Marcos. Caden Marcos with a single in the second. Heath Whitcock moving to the on-deck circle with Whitlock. Whitlock with a couple of walks. He's on deck. Outside with the pitch. Well, and the ERA around 9.9. Is that a little high as well?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this year in the league, it's obvious. I think it's a very offensive-based league. I don't think the pitchers are bad. It's just I think the hitters have just kind of outperformed the pitchers.
Fullerton coming in on the wild pitch. Phillips to second. Gatlin will go Phillips from second to third. Gatlin will go to second.
I just think there's not a lot of hitters that go up there. I think a lot of the hitters in our league, they go up there with a pretty good approach at the plate, and it's forcing these guys to make really hard pitches. And you see a guy get hit 0-2 because he's trying to make a perfect pitch because he knows that this guy's going to do damage. So
High and away with the pitch to Marcos. Count runs full. And that is something, as you mentioned, that the Bobcat pitching has done frequently. Run the count to 3 balls. Three-two offering Marcos. And that is fouled off of Marcos.
he fouled that off his back foot. No, it was his lead foot.
Gotta admit, I'm actually surprised that there are not more relatively serious injuries from that kind of stuff right there.
Yeah.
Fouling it off your foot. I mean, those aren't particularly big bones. Three balls, couple of strikes. Whitlock on deck. Chasing it is Marcos. He'll go down as out number 1. One away, top of the order, Heath Whitlock. Whitlock with a couple of walks. Cole Schumann, 2 innings worked, 16 faced, 1 strikeout, 3 walks, 7 hits given up. And thus far, all 7 runs would be attributed to Schumann. There is a runner on the responsibility of Smith, and that is the guy at second, Gatlin. Nothing in 1 on Whitlock. Kinski Thomas to the on-deck circle. Popped up shallow left. Back onto the grass to make the catch is Noah Hollis. And runners at third and second hold. How many years you been in the league now? In the GCAA?
22, 23.
Biggest change in those 2 decades plus.
Biggest change, we have 5 teams in the league.
Had about
Versus,
9
I
and
think
10.
we had 12 a long time
Yeah.
ago. So to me, that's the biggest change.
Well, it's still a possibility that could change again.
Yeah, I agree. I hate it.
What about where South Georgia is concerned? I mean, do you foresee South Georgia getting absorbed? I mean, that's, although it was different with ABAC, they switched to an NAIA. But I think Darton's one that got absorbed into Albany State, as that has popped up in the direction of center field. Going back to the warning track to make the catch is Rico Coney.
I mean, anything's possible. It's happened before. I don't know what the benefit is per se, but we'll see. I mean, right now, no, I don't foresee it now.
We head to the top of the 4th. It is a 7-1 Charger lead. Top of the fourth gets underway. Noah Hollis starts it. Connor Soper and Brady Morantz due up in the inning as well. Well, I'm assuming if you're East Georgia State, anytime's a good time to get started on scoring some runs. Down by 6. I mean, you don't want to start until, the 5th inning if you're down by that time by 8 or so, or the 7th inning if you're down by 6 or so.
You score one an inning, it'll be tied up in the 9th. So you don't have to get it all here, but you're right.
Hollis with a fly out to first. He was the second out in the 2nd inning. Connor Soper and Brady Morantz moving to the on-deck circle. Popped up to the right side. Looks pretty routine for Ryan Martin. Heck, he's already caught one and banged into the fence. That's nothing. Hollis out number 1.
Yeah, and one of the key things to rallies to me is the first hitter of the inning. I think our rallies got started last night with leadoff guys getting on.
Connor Soper to the plate.
I believe first inning, Highlands had a walk, a couple walks, and then the home run. So, again, get all that traffic early, it's hard to, I think at the major league level, a leadoff walk scores maybe 50% of the time. In the JUCO level, it's probably more in the 90s.
Wow.
So.
Swing and a miss. Soper's out number 2. And Eichenberger will pick up his 3rd strikeout. You want to pick who's going to win in Tennessee?
No.
And face the winner of the GCAA?
I couldn't tell you who's. I mean, I would assume Walter State has the best record. But
I think they are the 1C.
So, but I mean, they would probably be the clear front runner. But
I think Dyersburg had a coaching change, so they're not. I don't think they even are in the top 6 this year.
We had actually scheduled a game with Cleveland State, and. I know they actually had a very good year last year, and I really wanted to do that to kind of get a taste of, some Tennessee schools because we, where we're located, we go down to Florida and play, and the JUCOs down there are unbelievably good too. But I also, try to get a little bit from each state to get a feel for it, and unfortunately, Cleveland State didn't happen because we got 6 inches of snow in Douglas. Good news is we got them on the schedule for next year, so hopefully we don't have back-to-back snow years.
Is that a home and away thing? They're coming down here next year. 2 years you go there?
No. He wanted to be in the warm weather. So, and I like those. I can stay home and do it, and he's willing to do it. And we've got another good part is we can play 3 games or we could extend it to 4. It just kind of depends where we're at, but we're definitely going to play a 3-game set with them.
3-2 offering. That is ground foul. Favorite non-South Georgia State venue that you like to play the game in?
I mean, college, pro ball, anything?
Where you bring South Georgia State, even if it is a pro stadium, a 4-year college, but where your team goes to play. Best venue.
Oh, best total venue. That's a hard question. You get me after the break.
All right, so we'll go to the break. He'll contemplate. We'll come back with the answer at the bottom of the 4th with Martin Bishop and Gonby coming up. Bottom of the fourth gets underway. Ryan Martin will start it off. Coach, I would assume this is how you'd want to face Martin with the bases empty.
Exactly.
Leadoff guy. Andrew Bishop and Grayson Godby, 2 up in the inning, 2. Well, you've contemplated. You've pondered the various venues all across this country. I know you like the one that you played in as a player. Space Coast, I think it was, that you mentioned.
Yeah. Coaching wise, I don't know. We did some fall games at Georgia Southern. I really like that venue and how they have their stadium set up. They've got the cool part about their stadium that they've now added since then is the outfield has a huge porch that you could stand out there and watch the game on the porch. I thought that's a really cool anomaly. They're doing a huge renovation where their cages and coaches' offices are that are almost done, I believe. A couple $1 million facility. I mean that was a really cool venue.
1-2 offering. It is ground to third, fielded by Soper, goes to first, and out goes Martin. Artificial turf coming to South Georgia State anytime soon.
If you're writing the check, yeah. Yeah.
If I'm writing the check, you're going to have to wait a long time. I'm going to have to pay them in installments.
If you're writing the check, it's just turf in the batter's box. That's it, right? That's about the
If that. I'm not sure I can afford that. Andrew Bishop. Pitch on the inside part of the plate. Couple of singles. 2 for 2 with a pair of RBIs.
I think if we did have that option, that you're talking about, I wouldn't actually do the whole field for a number of reasons. Number one, it'd be cheaper. I would do the infield in. Number two, the reason for that, I have an assistant coach that takes care of fields. It still keeps him to have a job.
Yep.
But then you wouldn't have to worry about a tarp or anything like that. So there's definitely some bonuses. There's a couple little in the travel ball ranks. There's a little city of Newberry, Florida, and that's how their fields are designed. Is the infield in is turf, and I really like that design.
Another base hit for Bishop. That's his third of the game in as many trips to the plate. Grayson Godby next. Godby with a couple of flyouts. Flew out to short and to left. Now, we were talking about the top part of the inning being key for the Bobcats in getting runs. I would think this is a key moment in the game, too, for the Bobcats in stopping the Chargers from getting runs. They've played it in every inning.
No doubt. Need to put a 0 up. You can see the first, second, and third inning, they've put it up at least 1 run. Shut down inning and get back to hitting east.
That is ground in the direction of Soper at third. Fields fires, gets the out. Bishop will move to second with 2 gone. Ian Fullerton to the plate, 1 for 2 with a fly out and a single. Well, are you on the recruiting trail now that the season has ended, or are you ever really off the recruiting trail?
No, you're never off. Never off. Went ahead last night, did our exit meetings, wish the sophomores, that are moving on to move on, and the guys that are still looking for a place, it's another reason I'm here. Got to talk to some guys about the interest in our guys, and, the freshmen, hey, you know what you got to do to get back, and realize we're signing guys to take your spot, so you better be working this summer, and but no, every day.
That is hit towards the wall, right field. It will sail out of the park. Fullerton with a home run. Drives in Bishop. Fullerton will trot the bases too. The lead goes to 8. And Georgia Highlands, which has put runs across every inning, has done it again here in the 4th, this time with 2 gone. It is a 9-1 lead.
And the pitcher did a great job getting Martin out. Their third baseman got to be out, and the 2 lefties are the guys that got on.
Bishop and Fullerton takes it yard. Second home run of the game for Georgia Highlands. Tyler Phillips moving to the on-deck circle. You guys that are already committed to playing elsewhere that are leaving, can you remember who and where?
Yeah. Luke Boone, our right fielder, who is a second-team all-conference guy, he is going to Georgia College and State University. They're in Milledgeville, Georgia.
In center field, catch made by Rico Coney. Phillips with a fly out. Why don't we go to the break, and we'll come back and find out what other Hawks are headed elsewhere.
Yeah.
Top of the 5th, bottom of the order, Ethan James, the 8th guy, Rico Coney batting 9th, and one hitter, Jaden Vasquez, due up in the inning, too. All right, Coach, we left off with Boone, who is headed to Georgia State.
Georgia College. And this group this year, we are, geez, it almost feels like we're 80% freshmen. We're very young. We do have some transfers in. Got a couple guys that have opportunities. Hasn't completely figured it out. That's another reason I'm here. We've got a right-handed pitcher named Lennon Richmond from the Virgin Islands, of all places. He's going to a Division III school up in Massachusetts. While we're talking the name, just totally, I'm a little bit blank on where he had committed to.
Now, did you recruit him did you go on a recruiting trip to the Virgin Islands?
Yeah, actually, I didn't go actually there. He actually played in the state of Georgia for a couple years of high school. And what's kind of funny about him, about 3 years ago, the shortstop for Georgia Highlands, his dad runs a travel organization, and we didn't get him. He was a really good player for Dash, and the next time around, we picked up Lennon, and he done a good job, man. A great kid. I tell you what, the best part, he's a 4.0 student, so he's going to be successful in whatever he does.
Yep.
I'm trying to think. Gosh, man, we're so young. So many freshmen. I mean, just to put it in perspective, last night we had freshmen behind the plate. We did have a sophomore at third, still uncommitted. Logan Taylor, transfer from LaGrange College, did a really good job as a two-way guy for us. Shortstop is Chaz Encarnacion, another transfer from Montreat. Got some schools on him. Second base was a freshman. First base was a freshman. Center field was a sophomore. I think left field might have been a freshman. No, it was a sophomore. It was Chalk. And on the mound, the couple sophomores we did have had arm injuries. So
wow.
we're really young, and to go out there last night and put up 7. I hate that we gave up more than that, but did some things good and some things we got to get better at.
Got me with a field, the spin move, the throw, and gets Vasquez on the 5-3. 3 up, 3 down on the top of the 5th. We head to the bottom part of the inning. And the Chargers, who have played in runs in every inning, if they get 2, the game's done. Just about all White Jones County. Diving catch at shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Perhaps got it. Long throw over, and he got it.
There's 50 states, but at the end of the day, there's one that you don't mess with. That's Texas, home of Robert Earl King. Ain't no such thing as chili with beans. That's Texas, hard as a flat top griddle. Ain't got a band if you ain't got a fiddle. That's Texas with a capital T. If I can't go to heaven, I got a plan B, and that's Texas.
And reminder, our work with the Showcase Series will begin actually the last week in May, but the first weekend of full coverage is at the University of Southern Miss. New venue, 10 weeks, 14 different events, and all of it right here on JockJive. While I'm at it, a reminder to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. CJ Chalk, you mentioned the sophomore. Wasn't he an all-region player?
He was a Gold Glove in the outfield. Basically led off the whole year for us.
And he isn't committed?
He is. He's got guys on him, and he's still waiting. You know, we got some guys that I don't know if they want to wait to the last minute. I wish they'd just make a decision, but I get it. Hey, it's their next couple of years. I mean, you got it's a business decision.
Yep. Counting minute one on Wyatt Gatlin, Caden Marcos, and Heath Whitlock due up in the inning as well. ABAC being a former GCAA squad, does that give GCAA teams a little in with ABAC as a possible landing spot?
Oh, I think so. I mean, I you know, all of us coaches, you know, we pretty much talk to each other routinely. You know, I talk to Dash or whoever, and I'd still talk to Blake just like he's still in the league. So, I mean, I always keep him updated on guys, and he's been on guys. He actually called me this morning about a couple guys from last night.
Counting minute two on Gatlin, he is struck out and got hit by a pitch.
And I did want to mention, I've been just so impressed with how everything's ran out here. The field looks immaculate. That is, I wish my grass was this green.
Well, and I noticed, too, that Dash, now, did you last night get to be chauffeured around on a golf cart? Because Chuck was driving Dash around this morning.
No, I didn't get that luxury. I've won a Coach of the Year award. I didn't win it this year, so I guess you got to win Coach of the Year to get on the golf cart.
Maybe that's what comes with it. Caden Marcos one away, top of the order. Heath Whitlock on deck. East Georgia State trying to bring this to the sixth to give them more opportunities. Trying to snap a string of innings in which the Chargers are planning to run, which is currently at 4 straight.
Lennon Richmond is it's called Worcester Polytechnic in Massachusetts.
What part of Massachusetts?
I have no idea.
You got one, you know, you found the information on one, the name of the school, and now I bring up another problem.
Well, I'm lucky. I got a great coaching staff. My pitching coach is the one that sent me the text, so obviously he's listening in.
All right.
So shout out to Bradley Kamak.
And Bradley, where is this school? Swing and a miss by Marcos. I have a feeling he's Googling away right now, and it's then going to give us the info and try to convince us that he had it off the top of his head. Heath Whitlock, who walked in the first and second and popped out short in the third, coming to the plate in the bottom of the fifth. Kinsky Thomas on deck, sixth inning for East Georgia State. Starts at the 2 spot. Shane Willis, Trip Helgeson, and Terrell Milliner. That is hit
Foul.
over the fence, but foul. Gatlin and Marcos, K's for Smith. Fisher Smith coming into the ball game in the third. Now with 3, as in strikeouts. Well, next year with so many freshmen coming back, I would assume that you are anticipating a very good year.
Well, that's the plan every time. Good little group we've signed coming in. You know, help with the needs we have, and you know, we still got a few more to grab, but I'm real pleased with the recruiting, how we've done this year, and the kids we're bringing in, and you know, we look for 2 things. We look for kids that like to compete and kids that like to win. We tell kids all the time, we're not worried about your perfect game score, you know, whatever. We want guys that like to compete and like to win, because we're here to, you know, we're trying to win championships. That's what we're trying to do.
Smith turns in a 1-2-3 inning and strikes them all out. Gatlin, Marcos, and Whitlock. We head to the 6th in a 9-1 game.
of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Choose from over 100 affordable degree and certificate programs that fit your budget and schedule. Earn the same degree as you would on campus, with the same affordable tuition rate for every state. UA Online. Advance your career and change your life. Get started today at online.ua.edu.
One pitch into the top of the sixth, and out will go Wheelis with a fly out to left. Trim Helgeson coming to the plate. I was thinking about it. Baseball is kind of an unusual sport from the perspective that you anticipate losing games. I mean, heck, in the majors, you lose 60 ball games in a year, and you've had a great year.
It's a well, it's a game of failure, and what I mean by that is, as a hitter, a hitter that fails 7 out of 10 times is a 300 hitter. And those guys go in the Hall of Fame in the big league level.
Yep.
So you've got to be able to handle it and not dwell on it and move forward.
Helgeson with a pop-up in the direction of center field. Calling forward is Whitlock. He'll make the catch, and there's 2 quick outs. Of course, the lone East Georgia State run came after 2 quick outs in the second inning, and then that was followed with 4 at-bats in which runners got on, one of which came in. Terrell Milliner next. 0 for 2 in the game. He struck out and ground out.
Pinch hitter, Milligan.
So it is Milligan,
Yep.
or is that Mulligan?
He hit the homer against us.
It was
the other
Mulligan
night.
then, yeah.
Mulligan. Cade Mulligan.
1-1 pitch. Kid from Colorado, I understand. 3 years at East Georgia State. Redshirted his first. Great work ethic, and it paid off last night. Ground to short, fielded by Marcos, goes to first. And the Bobcats will go 1-2-3 in the top of the sixth.
Anytime I see you, let me know. But the plan and see, just let me go. I'm on my knees when I'm begging, cause I don't wanna lose you. Hey, yeah.
Bottom of the sixth gets underway. Kinski Thomas, Ryan Martin, Andrew Bishop coming up. Boy, if you get through these three, you've achieved if you are Fisher Smith, the pitcher for East Georgia State.
Yep, meat of their lineup.
In the bottom of the sixth with that possibility of a mercy rule weighing on your mind. 1 and 2 on Thomas. He has walked, singled, and popped out.
I know Fisher gave up the home run, but I've actually thought he's pitched very well. Gotten ahead on guys.
Well, outside of the home run, has only given up a single, has struck out 4.
Yeah.
And the home run accounted for the 2 runs that he gave up. High and away, and the count even at 2.
Haven't even looked at the weather. Does it look okay for the next couple days?
No.
we got some.
I think we got a 60% chance tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Today should be okay. Let's see.
So these guys at ABAC enjoy that tarp, baby.
That's right. 70 now tomorrow. 85 on Friday. Boy, it just doesn't even seem to let up. 90 Saturday, 90 Sunday. I don't know where you'd move it to. That is fisted in the direction of center field. Drops in as a leadoff base hit for Thomas. Well, let's see if we can see what time of the day. Tomorrow they're saying, I guess that's about 2 o'clock and on. So, tomorrow's the day, though, that you really can't start early or any earlier. Hit by the pitches, Martin. Already got a 10 a.m. start.
When I was driving up here and from Douglas, it was a little cool outside, and I'm looking at the clouds, and I said, it's coming.
Yep. Coming out to the bump, his coach, Fisher Smith, giving up a single and hitting one. After we bragged on him, by the way.
Yeah.
It was the kiss of death.
Kiss of death.
And it looks like he is about to exit the game. Got a new guy coming in, the new guy and the Fisher numbers when we come back.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Bottom of the sixth, got a couple of base runners on. Andrew Bishop to the plate. He's been perfect. And that'll go to the screen. Runners will move up, and now you're looking at the potential of a base hit ending the ball game. Thomas to third, Martin to second. Nobody gone. And the new pitcher was Grady Burgess. Fisher Smith, 3 innings, faced 14, 4 strikeouts, no walks, 3 hits, and 2 hit batsmen. Hands it over to Burgess, who gets a swing and a miss out of Bishop. Burgess, a 14.25 ERA. Oh and 5, 12 appearances. Had 4 starts, worked 24 innings. A little bit inside, he's given a walk and the bases are full. Grayson Godby with a couple of flyouts and a ground out 0 for 3. Burgess 35 walks, 36 strikeouts. Do you have a different philosophy coming into a game like this where it's not a single elimination, double elimination? Is it a different strategy with who you put on the hill in a situation that could get you out of the game as the run comes in from third?
Yeah, because, I mean, you're going to have to now win 4. You might have to leave a pitcher out there a little longer than normal because, you know, chances of you coming back are probably not the greatest, although I've seen it happen.
Not looking particularly good for the Bobcats at the moment. A 9-run lead with the game-ending run now 90 feet away. Andrew Collins and Gordon coming up. Slated for a 3 o'clock start. I don't know if they begin early, if this one ends early. I would say in this situation, probably not. Since by the time you prep the field, as you got a walk given to Godby, he'll go down to first, and we're loaded again. So back-to-back Burgess walks with Ian Fullerton next. So many things that could go wrong now. Hit the hitter, walk the hitter, commit an error, wild pitch, base hit, fly ball. Fullerton, a single, a home run, and a fly out to center. Well, there's something that went right. 6-2 put out, getting the lead runner.
Nope.
No, pulled him off the plate, and
Game's over.
that should be your ball game. Wow. It ends 11-1. And I guess it ends on a walk-off error. So the last play of the game will produce the game's only E. And this one is in the books, mercy rule activated. And we've got a Georgia Highlands win. All right, Andrew and Gordon coming up. What kind of game you look for?
offensive juggernaut. I'm telling you.
Another one.
Both teams can really hit. You got a Player of the Year for Gordon. You got a couple first teamers at Andrew, and they're all offensive guys, and I think it's going to be I don't think it's going to be 1-0. I'll say that.
Well, and you had the similar feeling where this one was concerned, and it's definitely not a 1-0 final.
Correct.
11-1. There you see the totals. 4 stranded by the Chargers, 3 left on by East Georgia State. They got their lone run to the Bobcats in the second, and Georgia Highlands scored in every inning but the 5th. So that'll do it. Well, we know that Worcester Polytechnic is in the middle of Massachusetts. Okay. That narrows it down. We're going to wrap up coverage. Jeff Timothy, head coach at South Georgia State. Great to have you as our guest analyst. You're welcome anytime.
Thank you, man.
We will see you in about an hour for Andrew and Gordon.